Hello, my loves, and welcome to this reading. Good to see you again. And if you're new here, welcome. I like to give a little heads up before we dive into my readings. My readings tend to be a little bit different, maybe, than what you're used to. They can be quite unique. I work with a lot of archetypes, and I usually let them decide what wants to come through and the way the message wants to come through. So, yeah, and sometimes it can also be a bit of a deep dive. So, yeah, if you like to dive deep and enjoy the journey getting there, then you are in the right place. All right. I am here with the archetype of Neptune today. Yeah, he came through and asked for a reading. And I can tell that I am in an energy that is very relaxed and peaceful right now, almost as if I was floating on the surface of the ocean, and the waves just come and go, and they carry me up and down, up and down. So there's something very, very calming about this energy, and I apologize if I might be a little slow today, or have struggled finding words. I can already tell that language might be escaping me. Yeah, definitely taking me in that energy. It's a very nice energy, but it's, yeah, there's this thing about it's nice, it feels beautiful, but, and here comes the but, it feels sleepy, it feels dreamlike, and that there is the danger of getting just absorbed by it and to be like in a lull state. Almost like, seriously, I almost feel like yeah, as if like weed, for example, that has the effect of just like bringing you into this lull and this relaxed state. And don't get me wrong, I mean, it's beautiful. And I'm swaying back and forth here, like as if I was floating on those waves. But there is something about this energy that has, it's alluring, it's tempting. It's tempting to just stay here, to just want to stay here forever. Oh wow, okay. And now I do see a huge wave coming. And it can take you by surprise because you were so immersed in that experience of relaxation that you didn't see it coming. Okay, so now wow, that was sudden. I got like, I'm out of it. I'm here, I'm back again. My mind feels rather clear and sharp. And now I'm asked to look at the glass. You do see that I have this glass here, and I was yeah, I have a few shells that I collected on the beach the other day. And when I wanted to get them for the reading, I recognized that they were broken, sadly. So the pieces, something you collected and you, oh, it's like a treasure. It's like, yeah, there's something about it's when children are playing on the beach and then they collect all those tiny treasures like shells and rocks and stones that have interesting shapes or are have a very, very smooth surface because they were washed down by the sea. And yeah, something about collecting treasures, finding treasures in the everyday and the small things, like a child. Oh, there's a question. Can you find the beauty even in the shattered pieces? And if we look at this, like the typical inlay of inside of a shell, I forget what it's called in English, but it's when you hold it into the sun and has all those different colors, and there are the rainbows in here. And again, I get lost. I get lost in observing it and just turning it and admiring it. And it is a beautiful thing. But I keep getting something about don't get lost in that lull. As beautiful as it is, don't get lost in a lull. Because here with this dark piece on the edge of it, that reminds me of that huge wave again that came and was about to swallow me because I didn't pay attention. All right, so there's something about like you need to pay attention to something. And now I look at the different reflections of the shells in the water. And I'm not quite sure, I can't really see it on the camera, what you see. But I guess it's similar to what I see. It's because of the shape of the glass, it has that broken mirror effect that you see like in various different angles, and depending on how you look at it, you do see different parts, like different pieces. But that is only me because I can move around, but the camera is fixed. It's only like this one view. You can't see different pieces because you cannot move around. But I can, so I do have a broader perspective on things, and I do recognize that there is more than just this one view, like there are several views. And I even could get up and walk around the table and look at the backside of the glass, just to see that probably the image I was seeing through that water was not what the reality is. So I'm asked to put it away now. And you can see the full arrangement. And suddenly you recognize, oh, okay, so this is what's really going on. Yeah, well, okay, there's something about a wheel pulled back, and this is very Neptunian. When we are in a Neptune heavy energy, things can get a bit blurry and foggy, and we can lose ourselves. We can lose touch to quote unquote reality, whatever that means. And we can get lost like in a dream space. This is very, very dream-like fantasy energy. And like I said, it can be beautiful, but it's also like there's always this the risk of getting lost in it and then not see what's coming. So yeah, now I do hear an insect that's making a sound. So it's actually, if you paid attention, you could hear it coming. But if you're so lost in whatever it is you are immersed in, it might happen that you miss it. You miss the warning signs. Okay, so there are warning signs again with that wave that is coming. And I seriously, I don't want to scare anyone. But there is a bit of a warning here, obviously, of maybe you are a little bit too much in this ungrounded energy, so that you kind of lost the connection to the quote unquote real world. And I know I do get, okay, so I do get a lot of Piscean energy here, which makes sense because it's Neptune, right? But there is this thing of like, well, this reality that we are in here, it's not even real. Why should I engage with it? Why should I even pay attention to it? It's not real. Well, the question is, what is real? What is reality? And even if you are, I hear, sorry, words. I told you Neptunian energy and words. I can't get out the word. Simulation. Yeah, that's the one. Thanks. There's this, in some spiritual circles, like people like to entertain this idea about, well, we're living in a simulation. This is what I'm getting right now. So there is this idea of, well, if this is a simulation, like nothing is real. But thing is, you are, even if this is a simulation, like you can go with that idea, like let's go with it. But you are a character in the simulation, and you do experience things here, and you are actually supposed to experience the things in the simulation. You didn't come here into this simulation to not engage with it, to not live it, to not experience it. Your soul chose to come here in order to experience it. So experience it. And don't get lost in a fantasy world. Yeah, well, so I cut the deck here and I got two cards, the Between Worlds card and the Yin card, which is water, a lot of water energy. And we have also with the Between Worlds card with the flamingo treading water here, walking through the water. And right now, this is speaking to me about the idea that this is a simulation, and this is a very, like, it feels very bleak. It feels very, I'm going to use a word, depressing. It's coming through really, really strong. Like this black and white, you know, there's no color in here. There's the color missing. So, well, there might, like I said, while there might be some truth to this idea of this is like the reality we're in is a dream state, a simulation, whatever you want to call it. If you choose to stay solely within this framework, it all becomes very bleak and depressing. While this simulation actually has a lot of to offer, it has all those colors, it has all that vibrancy to it. And while yes, you can get lost in it, you can also live in it and experience it in a conscious way, and through that you can enjoy what it has to offer without becoming too attached to it. So you don't have to reject it in order to be conscious within the simulation. And with the yin card here, this is speaking to me about that there is, because if you're like solely in this very detached state and looking at it from an angle of, well, it's all just a simulation and I'm not really part of this, so I don't engage with it, I'm not getting attached to it, it's missing out life. It's missing out the life force, which is the yin energy. The yin energy is this, the merging with, oops, okay. This feels significant. Okay, so I'll get to that in a moment, but yeah, the yin energy, like the feminine, the merging energy, the dissolving energy, becoming one with life itself. And if we have an imbalance in our life, that we are too heavily focused on the detached energy, too much not engaging with life itself, it's an overemphasis emphasis on the masculine energy. The thing is, if we focus too heavily on one certain aspect of ourselves, of the polarities, we have both inside of us, masculine and feminine. If we focus too heavily on one polarity, the other one will express itself in an equally unbalanced way. And this makes sense to me now with this lull state at the beginning, this overly dreamy energy, this dissolving into the movements without really realizing what's happening around us, because we're too caught up in just like in this merging. So it's an overemphasis on the feminine, not being alert to what's actually happening in the surroundings, which would be the job of the masculine feminine, the protector energy. So there might be an overrepresentation of this dreamy energy in someone's life. I do get something about dreaming about other places, other, like losing oneself in. Okay, so this can have like many different outlets. This kind of energy. It can mean that you lose yourself in research, for example. You lose yourself in mental spaces. You lose yourself in the idea about other galaxies, other places, other universes. I get something about like planets, ETs, the idea of connecting with entities from other places, the idea of I am from a different place and I don't really belong here. So I escape into those fantasy ideas about where I might be from, or just focusing on, oh, I'm detaching from this life, from this world. I hear it's a false belief. It's a false belief to think that if I detach from this life, that I don't go back into samsara, I hear. So I'm wondering why this card fell over. It's not obvious to you that you're doing this. I very much get the impression of someone who thinks, I know what I'm doing. Okay, I do have the desire, to ground this in with some tarot, because I feel like the oracle cards, they are escaping me right now. They are too, yeah, I do need some grounded energy, and the tarot is for me very much grounded in this world. So yeah, I do need to, like I said, ground this energy in a bit here. Okay, I was drawn back to those shells, and it's like, as beautiful as they look, like they're pretty sharp. You can hurt yourself. You can hurt yourself on that. And I'm brought back to this floating on that ocean and like feeling safe, but not seeing that wave coming. There might be some really heavy awakening, a wake-up call. I hear a wake-up call. There might be a wake-up call coming for you. And you could, like, if you choose to if you choose to listen now, you can still readjust your course. So with the Ace of Swords in reverse, this is about like ideas and knowledge and what we think we know. But yeah, again, like this time with the reversal, it comes through to me in that way, what I spoke about earlier, like heavy emphasis on this masculine, like overly masculine, idea-driven energy. But like it's not that this is entirely wrong, like that all your ideas or everything you found out, you discovered, it's not like that is all wrong. It's just like you got it. There's something twisted. There's something twisted about those ideas. And with the Three of Vessels here, there's a heavy community aspect about it. Maybe you're like very much in a bubble right now with like very heavy, I get very heavy community vibes about surrounded by people who have like the same kind of idea system. I almost get something about like the vibe of conspiracy theories. Like this. The idea of secret knowledge. Like I know something, and I'm part of this collective that knows something that other people don't know. And this is also something that the masculine energy likes to do, to retreat in those ideas of the mind, and like it likes to think that it knows better. It knows better than everyone else. It has all the answers. But it doesn't see that it's like it's a, oh wow, I hear it's a trap. There's something that you're missing, something very important that you're missing, and I'm shuffling and shuffling and shuffling, and the right answer doesn't come out. The card doesn't come out. Like you can shuffle as long as you want. You can shuffle those ideas as long as you want. The right answer won't come out. It's not. You don't get it. You don't get it that way. So you have to change your approach. And my change of approach is to shake up the camera. Okay, this is interesting. We need to look at the bottom of the deck. So the Four of Wands. Combined with the Crown of Vessels. Okay, so there's something you want to achieve. There's something you want to get to. You want to manifest something. You want to succeed in life, and you think you found the answers. You think you found year 42, the answer to everything. And you know what? I'm getting like, yeah, you know what? Because those are not in reverse. So you actually are on the right path. There's just something you need to tweak. There's just something. Okay. 1, patience. You need a little more patience. You think you know the answers, but actually you don't know all of it. You need a little bit more patience. This reminds me of another reading I did the other day. The 6 of Vessels. Okay, so there's something you need to look at from your own history, your own childhood, and yeah, okay, so there's some kind of red thread in your biography, and you are asked to look at it. Like, how many times have you been convinced, oh, this is the answer, this is the thing that it seems like you can be very easily convinced that this is the answer, this is the one, like the rabbit hole you need to go into, and then you achieve what you want, or you get what you want. And you've been down those all those different kinds of rabbit holes, and there's a red thread in there. And here again, it's a trap. Like, don't believe the stories that you tell yourself too readily, like too easily. Be aware of that. You seem to be a smart person, a very smart person. I get a lot of mental energy, a lot of like a highly active mind, and those are sometimes the trickiest, because they are really, really good at deceiving themselves. Because when you have a smart mind, like, your ego is smart, and especially the spiritual ego can be very, very almost dangerous in that sense. I know what I'm talking about. So the Star card in reverse. Yeah, I get something here about cosmic truth. And there again is something about, you are tapping into the right sources, kind of. I mean, not necessarily the right sources. I mean, I couldn't tell. So, okay, they say some of the sources, and I mean, like, where you get your information from. Some of the sources are quite credible, like they are legit. But from there, follow the like. Okay, so there's something about go back to the start. Look for the initial spark. Look for like where you got the initial idea, where you felt a higher truth, and then see where you fell down the rabbit hole. And now I see a labyrinth, like a maze, with mirrors. And like, there are a lot of people who get lost in those mazes, because they find something and they feel like, oh, there is like a deeper truth in there. And then they end up in those mazes and they are looking for the answers, and they get confused. And it happens to all of us on on our spiritual journeys. But there's, there's, like I say, a very highly active mind. And there's something to be aware of the maze of your mind. So go back to the core. Go back to the, like, strip all the mental layers, strip the concepts, strip it all away, and come back to the one truth. I hear again the one source. And now I'm speaking about, like, the cosmic source. Where do we all come from? And what is that energy? What is that? Bring it back to the basics and ask for truth. Ask for higher truth, deeper truth, not higher. Okay, not higher, deeper. Ask for deeper truth. You're floating high enough. You need to dive deeper. You need to dig deeper. And this is bringing me, I'm sorry, I'm always bumping against the camera here. This is bringing me back to this Six of Vessels, which is the Six of Cups energy. Where is the red thread in your own story? That's the truth you, like, that is one truth you should be looking for. One clue you should be looking for. You will find deeper truths in there about yourself. Oh, okay. So bring it, like, come back to the core, to the heart of things, to the deeper truth of oneness, of what is that one source and how does it feel. Tap into it. It's love, basically. You will feel infinite love there. That's what you'll find there. And from this place, bring it back to yourself. Bring it back to your own stories. Don't escape into everything what's out there. Don't escape into all those rabbit holes, but look at yourself and recognize that by looking for those answers that you're seeking elsewhere, that you're seeking outside of yourself, that you're seeking in spiritual concepts or in, like, all those communities that have those ideas about the simulation theories and all of that. Bring it back to self. Bring it back from all of those ideas. Recognize them for what they are. They are tricks of the mind. They are games of the ego. They are a way of entertaining your mind and your ego. And it's serving the purpose of elevating yourself, your ego mind, to feel superior. And I'm saying this because it's coming out that way. It's not my opinion. It is something that is given to me. And it's like, it's coming out pretty directly because it feels like somebody needs to hear that. And by recognizing that you are given the chance to bring it back to yourself, to recognize where you find those kinds of behaviors in your own life over and over and over again. So look for the red threads in your own history, in your own biography. Yeah, I think that's it. That's it. Okay, that was, again, pretty quite a deep dive. Yeah, I hope this reaches whoever needs to hear this. I really hope you'll find it, and I will stumble myself. I will stumble through this outro because I'm like, now I'm back into this blah energy. All right, my loves, thanks for being here. Thanks for contributing your time and energy to this reading. I would love to hear from you. If it resonates, give it a thumb up, and maybe even leave a subscription. It helps the channel grow. Thank you. And yeah, I would love to see you in the next video. Until then, take care, my loves. Bye.